We are now talking with Todd Moore, who has been instrumental in something I just want to direct my cameraman's attention to up here on the wall, the Suncoast Old School Drag Street Syndicate. Now, if you've been following Suncoast on Facebook, you'll know that what they're doing is getting together, if you will, the remaining and burgeoning growing interest in OG bikes from the 70s and 80s, where a lot of us, cut our teeth, grew up on all these old Kawasaki's and Suzuki's. And for people that love the nostalgia, as I do, it is just an absolute eye candy Facebook page. Check it out, because so many people have built these amazing retro rockets. I guess in the car world, these would be known as retro mods. Resto mods, right? So let's talk about them a little bit. Of course, Todd Moore here has been, like I say, instrumental. Let's start with this Suzuki Katana. What do we know about this?
Well, it's owned by Steve Whitmire. He's also in Florida with us. John Sachs had a big hand on putting it together early on, and Steve picked it up from him and has continued it on and made it even nicer. So, yeah, real nice piece.
And what about this KZ here? That is beautiful.
This is actually the bike that is the symbol of the page. This is my second admin over here, Dave Cody's bike. This was a legitimate drag bike, or started street.
Right, of course.
And then you get that bug.
Do.
We all get the bug, because we're all in those later seasons, and said, you know what? I'm going to drag race it. So really, it still has a nitrous bottle on. It has all the bells and whistles of a drag bike, but we, getting older, and we decided to kind of keep this thing going. He put it back on the street, and it's taken off from there. But this is the model of the group, is what we would.
Well, it's absolutely delicious. I mean, I don't think I can see a speck of dust on it. Great job on that one, Dave.
It will take the trophy home, yeah.
I would imagine.
He shares with
I'd imagine so. Well, here's one that is a little closer to stock, huh?
This is my personal bike here. This is mine.
Beautiful.
And it's same vibe, same drag feel, with the wheels and stuff, but zero rake on this one, with the Murray exhaust, and more closer to stock. Still has the shock, so it's rideable, but keep the feel of the gauges and stuff, yeah.
Well, then we've got one here called the War Child.
Yeah, this is actually John Markham's bike. A lot of
Oh, of course I recognize that.
It's a John Markham, and it went up for sale, and I liked the way it sat, and I called him, and he said, I don't want to sell it, but I will, and I told him I was going to put it back on the street, and I think he thought I was kidding, but this will be a street bike soon.
Of course it will. And now we move into a Suzuki GS, I guess that would be an 1150 turbo.
Yep. In an 81 frame. This is also owned by John Sachs right here, for sale, but another beautiful example of where we're headed.
Wow, and then yet another Suzuki turbo right next to it.
This belongs to me as well. We picked this up on a trade. I guess this was built many, many years ago, only showing 2,000 on the odometer, probably by Orient Express, as we all know, in upstate New York, and ended up in Florida. And I made a trade with a stock 1150, and everybody's happy. So, yeah, that'll be another one.
Wow. Boy, and it just goes on and on. We've got an 1150 ES here, and that looks pretty close to stock.
This one here or over here?
Talking about the one with the fairing on it, yeah.
The Pro Modified Racer. That's his personal bike right there. Yep, beautiful piece. All
gorgeous.
Stock pipes. This one here we picked up this weekend as well from Roy Hagedorn.
I was going to say, it looks familiar. That's Hags, huh?
He's a multi-time track champion. If you know drag racing, you know
he'll
also be a street bike coming soon.
Hagedorn is a multi-time, practically everything champion. Well, let's end it up right over here, because, of course, this one here is what I would say very near and dear to my heart, because I had one of these myself that I bought in 1982, and identical to this. And I was just telling Dave Miller about it. What I did was I started drag racing it, but Kawasaki parts were so plentiful back then that as I started putting hot rod parts on it, lighter wheels, lighter body, longer arm, all this stuff, before long, I had a whole pile of Z1R parts, and I just restored the whole bike back to stock, sold it to a friend for what I bought it for, and had my drag bike right alongside it. But anyway, amazing stuff.
This one actually, if you knew the history of it, started out as a TC. So he has the parts to put it back to his TC. But
Yeah, I noticed it's no longer TC.
we met in Florida, in Dunedin, downtown, and same passion. Has some Z1s as well, Yanni. And he's got ties to the Chicago area, Dick Speed and those guys.
Of course, yeah. Well, that's where I come from.
Very small, close-knit community, and after starting this page, I've realized that it's still there. We're just, we're doing different things now.
That's amazing. And I'm just going to tell you straight up, I am so happy that you were involved in something like this, because not only is it fun, we're preserving the past, preserving the history. And
well, a little bit of history on the page is I retired in June, but a couple of months before in March, Dave and I sat down and said, you know what? Let's see if there's any other guys that like what we like. Well,
boy, you found
we're a
them.
year removed, and we're almost at 12,000 members worldwide. So it's I didn't expect it, but it's been fun.
Well, you really tapped into a nerve there, so to speak. So, Todd, I appreciate you spending some time with us.
Bill, good seeing you too, buddy.
Great.
Been a long time. Yeah.
Always a pleasure, man. Let me tell you. And I'm going to be keeping an eye on that Facebook page.
do.
Check it out. It's a Suncoast Old School Drag Syndicate page. What is the actual Facebook page title?
That's it.
Oh, there you go.
Some folks told me it was a little wordy, but I said, you know what? We got to get the point across. So.
Well, we get it. And what could be more Florida than that, right? So thanks again, Todd. We're going to bring you way more action here this weekend at the MTC Engineering Spring Nationals.